Hello, everyone. Can everybody hear me? That's probably the most important question. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. First time doing a YouTube live, so I figured I got to check all the specs first. I got to see. All right, we get some hellos. Hello. Yes, that's you can hear me. Someone throw me a thumbs up. You can hear me. Throw me a thumbs up. We got to see Mortius do some live stream testing. Very good. Thank you, Tommy. When he did his reaction with Caesar the other week, it was pretty fun to watch them work out any of those kinks. So, guys, thank you for coming. This is the 50,000 subscriber celebration. It's not going to be anything crazy. I didn't bring a marching band or anything like that, but I bought myself some very nice new Scotch whiskey, and I got my buddy Grogu here to hang out. And beyond that, we're just gonna chill, and feel free to ask me questions. And this is really me thanking all of you for all the support you are giving me and have given me. And we have probably backwards there, but Glenfiddich single malt Scotch whiskey, aged 12 years. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Mortius. Yeah, sorry, Mortius. No marching band. I know. Maybe for the 100K, I'll bring the marching band. Okay. We have some. Fiona Jane is familiar with the Scotch whiskey. Very good. So thank you guys so much for all your support. This is pretty exciting for me. Given that this channel is pretty much one video a week. Thank you. Hi, Danya Godborg. Is that how I say your name? Thank you. I'm glad you love my content. I pretty much make one video a week, which is crazy. I mean, most of these channels that get a lot of subscribers are making multiple videos a day, or at least multiple videos a week. And for me, it's pretty much the Monday release. You guys know the reaction and analysis, and covers when I can get to them. So to have this much support after doing, really being active on YouTube for a solid year now, close to 2 years since I first came out with the Sound of Silence cover, which was just audio. I don't know if you guys remember that, way back in April of 2020. But when I started making the reaction and analysis, that's kind of when the channel started growing, because that's what's popular. And that was less than a year ago. Less than a year ago, I had about 2,000 subscribers last July, and now here we are in May, 10 months later, with 51.3 thousand as of today. How's the subharmonic going? Eli, the subharmonics are slowly getting better. I work on them kind of when I can, and kind of when I'm just messing around, because as you know, they don't take priority with my operatic training. So they are kind of developing pretty slowly, but I'll say that I do have some recordings coming out with some really solid subs with the bass gang and some of my own stuff. So I am able at least to record some really nice ones well now. But as far as being able to do really good ones on the spot, I'm not there yet. Not nearly to the level of the other guys in the bass gang. Linda Rhodes, next role. So right now I'm singing Shonar in La Boheme, and we have 3 more performances. We've done 5 so far. And my next big assignment is covering the role of Fiorello in an opera called The Barber of Seville by Rossini. You've probably heard of it. You've definitely heard music from it, believe it or not. And that is with the Santa Fe Opera this summer. So the only reason I would go on to actually perform that in the main stage this summer would be if the lead singer gets sick and I have to go on because I'm just the cover. But that's kind of the next role. And next year, I'm not sure yet. AVA, of course, is going to be putting on probably 4 full opera productions, because next year, please, if COVID can just keep moseying out the door slower than we all want, then we'll have a full real season. And there's a lot of exciting operas we might do, but I don't know for sure yet. Hello from Sweden. I actually know a couple singers from Sweden. One is actually at AVA named Loella Gran, a wonderful singer, wonderful high soprano from Sweden. I would love to visit Sweden someday and all the countries surrounding. Woo! A collab with Jeff at 100K. That would be exciting. Yeah, I mean, it's every up and coming bass singer's dream to collaborate with Jeff. Every up and coming, acapella producer's dream to collaborate with Jeff. He's like, I mean, he really is the bass king right now. He totally is. If Avi were still super active in acapella and making his own solo acapella stuff, who knows? But I think Jeff rightfully has kind of claimed the title of modern day bass king, and we all look up to him so much. You guys know how much I appreciate his work and his creativity. I am very open about that in my reaction and analysis videos. But we'll see. We'll see. A collab with voice play. I see is another comment about collab with voice play. It's not something we're in touch with voice play about yet, but I will say the collaborators we're working with this year, which I can't reveal just yet, are very exciting, very big creators. And I think the songs this year with the Bass King are really going to take off. They're just very high quality product, and we have put hundreds upon hundreds of hours into getting them as good as we can. And I really think they're going to take off. So in a couple weeks, they're going to start coming out, and you guys will know exactly what I'm talking about. But I think if it does really well, it's going to give us even more power to collaborate with bigger and bigger artists like voice play and like Jeff. Considering record deal limitations we might run into. I know that's sometimes an issue with big artists, is they can't collaborate freely exactly. But yeah, all in the works. We are constantly talking about people we can work with. And right now we've got some very exciting collaborators and some awesome songs and arrangements, and the videos are going to be amazing. And y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready for the Bass Gang this year. It's going to be wild. Fiona Jane, how is the gamer chair working out? Good. Yeah, it's nice. Ewan gave me this lovely, beautiful $400 gaming chair as part of the sponsorship. So it's going super well. I figure I could make a little plug for them. I told them I would, but I'll be using this chair for the entirety of this live stream, however long it goes. So it's a lot of good exposure. And I believe I already put the link to the 20% off in the description. So go check it out, guys. If you want a really awesome chair to be used for office use or gaming or whatever, it's fantastic. The only downside I'm dealing with right now is when I have to shoot videos, I have to pick it up and move it to the other side of my little apartment here. And it's pretty heavy and awkward, 50, 60 pounds, and very awkward me trying to shuffle it around my bed and get it to the other side of the room. That's the only downside. Otherwise, it's very good. I can't stop swiveling right now. Got that live stream energy. I'm just swiveling around. Hello, Grayson. Welcome, fellow bass singer. You should make your own content so I can see it. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, pentatonics is I feel like that's kind of where I hit my stride with these reaction and analysis videos, because pentatonics, they just have so many fantastic pieces, and by far the most famous a cappella covers of all time. It's not even close. If you compare their viewage and their following to any other group out there, not even close. They have 20 million subscribers, billions of views. Their Hallelujah has 600 million views, which is just crazy for a cappella. This, especially 10 years ago, this super niche genre, and it's really blown up. I think thanks to Pitch Perfect, even though it's kind of a meme, That opened up people's eyes to acapella, and then Pentatonics, of course, just took that baton and ran with it. And so they're a huge influence on all of us. Eli, yeah, you should totally make a YouTube channel and start making your own content. I get emails and messages all the time from young bass singers, and in the Discord server as well, Bass Singing Nation. Go join, a lot of fun. All the time about, collaborating with me, or how do I join the bass gang. And what everyone needs to understand is, all of us, even Marwan, who's super young, has been in this game for at least a few years, making really good content. And before you do it, it kind of seems like you can just jump in and like hop in a cover, but there's like so much tricky logistics and learning how to even audio engineer bass at a basic level and video edit at a basic level. These are all skills you want to have down pat before you jump in a collaboration with singers, with people who've been doing it for a while. So what I suggest is take some time, even if it's GarageBand and whatever basic video editing software, take your time, make some covers, make them the best you can, and kind of, start getting a name in this world, and then reach out about, collaborations after that. It's the best way. But yes, totally make a channel, start making stuff. I try to watch when new acapella creators are making music, and I try to comment. You can ask some of the smaller guys in BSN who've made covers. I really do try to watch them and like see, next generation coming up after us. Because me and the bass gang and some of the other guys, we're kind of like the new young adult generation of bass singers following up. Yes, Tommy the Guru. Tommy, big influence on me getting into acapella. I remember watching his Sound of Silence like just before I was going to put mine out, and I was like, oh shit, it's so good. And Tommy, I believe your Sound of Silence is coming up on 1 million. Big boy, coming up on 1 million views on that one, I think. Probably the next few months, so that's huge. Do we have any tenors in BSN? Yes, there are tenors in BSN. And a lot of them learn how to use subs, because most people are just interested in bass singing, just most people, no matter the voice type. So a lot of the tenors learn subharmonics and get far more proficient in them than I am, and they can actually sing comfortably in the bass register that way. Woo, a lot of comments coming in. Oh, that's such a great question from Manav Sharma. Hey, Manav, I recognize you. With EQing a bass track, do you think it's better to err on the side of clarity, parentheses, boosting mid and high frequencies, or warmth, but losing clarity in the vocals? So it's really funny. Tommy and I actually just had a long session about mastering. I was showing him what I have learned in mastering over the years to help with the track he's putting out this coming soon for the bass gang. And we talked a lot about, how to balance the frequencies. And I'm totally on the side of cut as much out of the bass as you possibly can, while still maintaining like the bass vocal quality. But basically, the thing about bass frequencies is they can pollute the mix, and they can muddy everything, and they take up way more headspace in the mix than the higher frequencies do. So basically what you want to do is you want to, take your EQ on the bottom and cut out as much of that bass frequency as you can without totally losing all of the bass quality that you want. But yeah, totally err on the side of clarity. You want those vocals to be crisp, even bass vocals, bass lead vocals, you want them to be crisp. If you're talking about a bass background part, that's more of a part where you can kind of just keep the bass in and kind of treat it more like a subwoofer. But for the most part, you want clarity. Always want clarity in your voices. Grayson, I have not seen your videos on TikTok, but feel free to shoot me a link on one of my medias, and I will check you out. Am I going to sing a duet with Diana Ankudinova? That would be super cool. I am not in touch with her. I've only done a video for one of her songs, which has done super well. Super interesting voice, timbrally speaking. And I remember that when they got to she got to the last verse of that song, I was like, whoa, I've never heard anything like this. But no, we are not in touch. So I have no collaborations planned with her yet. How long have I been involved in opera? This is a good question and one I get a lot. So I was all about sports in high school, middle school. I did sing in a jazz singing group in high school and did a little bit of choir. How I got into opera was my mom suggested I take voice lessons before my senior year of high school, and I ended up getting a better offer for voice at University of Miami down in Florida than I did for anywhere for sports. Got a lot of offers for track and football, but none to like the big D1 schools, which is where I wanted to go if I was going to play sports. And so, I basically went to U Miami as a voice major and had no idea what I was getting into, had very little exposure to opera, could barely read music at that point. And it was actually super overwhelming. So long story short, I switched away from opera for 3 or 4 years, did the acapella stuff, and did music production and audio engineering, and then actually came back to opera my last year in undergrad. And from there till now, it's been a pretty serious focus of mine. So really I've only been focused on opera for 5 years now. Technically, I took my first voice lessons, I guess it would have been about 10 years ago, but I didn't really get into it. I had no plan for a career in it until probably 5 years ago. So, but originally, yeah, mom wanted me to take voice lessons. She was like, you have a classical sounding voice, I guess, because it was lower and a little more resonant than other high schoolers. I have not come in contact with Dimash yet, or talking techniques, but that is certainly something I hope to do. I think it'd be a fascinating discussion. Are you going to have much time for arranging, recording while in Santa Fe? That is a great question. So here's the deal. We have Bass Gang stuff coming out. That's been an enormous undertaking on top of singing opera professionally with AVA. Those are going to be released through middle of June. And I have 2 more songs planned to be released over the next couple months after that. But I'm not planning on bringing my whole setup to Santa Fe with me because, it'll be, I don't know, it'll be weird to have all my stuff in the space there. And like, it's very much, it's a fully fledged, fully scheduled professional summer opera festival. So I'll probably be pretty busy most of the time there. I do plan on at least taking my camera and like Yeti mic so I can keep doing weekly reaction analysis videos. But those 2 covers, I have one, which is already being mixed and mastered. I'm doing an acapella version of the Game of Thrones theme song. Probably my favorite show of all time. There's a 5-octave range in that song. C1 in 2 different techniques to a sustained C6. Very, very proud of it. I actually just got the first mix back from the guy I'm hiring to do the mixing and mastering. I'm probably going to shoot video for it before I leave for Santa Fe, and then probably hire Marwan to do the video if he has time this summer. So that, and then of course you guys know about the Enemy music video coming out. My cover of Enemy, My Imagine Dragons, bass vocal stuff, dubstep, opera. It's like all the things I've been working on for the last 10 years musically. It's my favorite thing ever. Tom and I were talking about it earlier. It's a very wild and unique project. And I'm shooting a full-on professional music video for that actually in like a week and a half. So I have a meeting with the full production team on Tuesday to finalize the storyboard, talk about hair and makeup, talk about the behind the scenes documentary we're going to shoot about how it all comes together. It's wild. So Game of Thrones theme and Enemy, those are the 2 I for sure have planned, and we'll see what else I have time for. Nicole, is there a possibility of a hint on the new Bass Gang tracks coming out? You mentioned a few top tier guests. I can't reveal any collaborators. Tommy, do most people know about your track yet? What track you're doing? I don't. I'm not going to reveal anything without permission from the Bass Gang. I'm not super protective of the songs we're doing. I think that's a cool thing for people to look forward to. I'm just protective of the collaborators. because we have that plan to be announced in our trailer, which is coming out in a little over a week. So that's that. But just hang on a little bit longer. I know we originally wanted stuff to start dropping right at the start of May, but we are prioritizing quality of product, number one. 2, relationships with our collaborators. You got it, Tommy. I will. So relationship with these awesome collaborators, super important. You've got to be a good colleague in any industry, and especially the music industry. You've got to be a good colleague. So we're giving them time. We don't want to stress anyone out. We want to do the best experience for everybody and make the best products. So that's that. Beep, boop, bop. Oh, Tommy, Marwan's visiting you. What? Oh, that's going to be so much fun. I'm jealous. Next summer. Rachel D, what's it like being in the bass gang? It's super cool. I love it. If I had to pick, do solo stuff outside of opera or be in the bass gang, I would ditch my solo stuff. The bass gang to me is my favorite thing outside of the opera world, for sure. I absolutely love collaborating with these super talented guys, and we have a super healthy collaborative relationship where we can, give each other constructive criticism, and we have a lot of fun doing it despite all the work, and it can get stressful because it really is a lot to put together these things virtually. It's the best thing. It's super cool to be in a group with 4 like-minded bass singers that want to make great music. So thanks for asking. But can you do a video at some point going over what chest fry and summer Madison growl are? I think Taiwan. Yeah, I know what they all are. I'm really only proficient at the chest fry. That is like my go-to extended technique. Subharmonics, I'm okay. Like I said, I'm good enough now to make recordings of them if I have a few shots at it. Growl, I pretty much never do. I just haven't trained it. So I do. People have been asking me for over a year now for me to do a tutorial on chest fry. So, that's something I might be able to do this summer, and when I'm not able to make full covers, maybe do a few tutorials. I've also been promising everyone, especially the basses in BSN, like a full warm up, like my full vocal warm up before I'm going to audition or before I'm going to perform or before a vocal coaching. Everything from stretching to, laryngeal massage. Something I use tongue massage to release tension all the way, and then like working the voice up to the top and back down. So those are things I've been thinking about, non cover related, I suppose. Yeah, buddy. Tommy's right. What was my range when I was a kid? Oh wait, hold on. No, there's some other. Oh boy, a lot of questions. I did not know Kirsten is pregnant. Congratulations to her. How much operatic technique do you bring to your acapella singing because of the different styles? Great question. Almost none, quite frankly. I think it's really funny when opera singers try to sing non-operatic stuff and they bring too much of it in there, and it just sounds weird and not good. What you can bring from opera to any style is breath support, general control, vocal fold closure. A lot of the fundamentals you can bring, but no, that's something I've been working on a lot lately, and you'll hear it, especially in parts of these new releases of the bass gang, is me kind of really experimenting and really going for it vocally and getting away from the opera stuff. Like there's, in the song I arranged, there's a massive high A flat sustained belt that actually touches up to a B flat. And, the day I was recording it, I was trying to do it in like a spacious kind of operatic way, because that's where I'm more comfortable. And like, that's how I know how to sing way up there. And I was like, it's not going to work. It just doesn't sound good. It doesn't have that power and that, well, it has more power realistically, but it doesn't have the grit and the kind of raw aspect. So I kind of went back to the drawing board and just like fully supported, but just like really kind of let it rip up here. And what the result was after a bunch of attempts was a super badass, loud, full chest belt that had the edge of someone who's not trying to sing it with full health and space and all this stuff. It's just like a real big kind of like almost like rock belt, and it's badass. And that's So anyway, to answer your question, not much. I try to leave the opera stuff in the opera world, and I try to sing, just using like breath support and like vocal fold closure and like just some of the fundamentals when I do acapella stuff. What was my range as a kid? Kid like before puberty kid? I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't have much relation to what your voice is like when when it changes. Will we be able to see any of the performances at Santa Fe? I don't know. You know, Santa Fe is a huge opera company. It's where a lot of the world's top singers go in the summer. A lot of the singers from the Metropolitan Opera go to Santa Fe. Uh, going to be sharing the stage with some of the world's most famous opera singers. This is very, very exciting for me. Um, and I would like to think they would have. I mean, they're pretty hip. I would like to think they have some kind of live stream setup, or HD setup for some of the shows that will be totally cleared from the orchestral union. I can't guarantee anything. It obviously won't be my content legally, so I won't be able to share anything except maybe there's a big audition day at Santa Fe when you sing in the opera house for a bunch of agents and opera houses around the world. And I think we do actually get those recordings that we can share because I've seen those from past years. So yeah, hope that answers your question. I am drinking. Oh well, I wish Fiona Jane were here to tell me how to pronounce it, but it is this. You can see it. It's of course going to be backwards, but that's what I'm drinking. This very nice Scotch whiskey that I bought just before this, and it is fantastic. I mean, you really do get what you pay for with liquor. Pro tip: having been, age 21 through 25, when you're just like, what's the cheapest thing I can get down my gullet? It's worth it to put in a little extra money for them. I promise you. Matt, see, my range is C1 to about C6. Yeah, Matt, that's a crazy range, man. And as far as range goes, it's always like, what range can you use consistently, or at least nowadays, what range can you use reliably in a recording studio session? Like, there's so much content now that's just virtual. You don't have to be able to 24/7 bust out every note in your range. But like, what notes can you sing with quality in a recording session? Including morning voice. Like like for me, it's like if I need to sing like a B flat one or an A1, it's like that's very not likely going to happen during the day. That's like for sure a morning voice kind of thing for me. So if someone says my range, it's like, if someone says my daily range, it's usually like C2 is my low chest for like what I can reliably sing all day. But yeah, it's just a good thing to keep in mind. I made a point to some of the younger guys who were, some of the younger guys in Bass Singing Nation when they were talking about their ranges, and they're listing ranges. They're like 7 octaves from like indiscernible vocal fry through like super high squealy whistle tones, and I'm like, yeah, like you can make noise in that range, but like what can you use? Like what would you be able to sing in a performance? What would you be able to do reliably in a studio? That's my hot take on range, because ranges get super super inflated, especially in like YouTube comment section. There's always like the kid that jumps in. He's like, well, I'm a 14-year-old with a C1 in chest. It's like, all right, simmer down there, champ. No need to be a hero. Okay, let's see. Oh, Loch. Same sound in Loch. Loch Ness, is that right? Glenfiddich. Ick. Like a soft K, kind of. Thank you. That's Singer Reactions. Appreciate it. It's another big reaction channel. Nice of you to show up. Appreciate it. What made you get into singing? Did you have to practice a lot to get into the ranges you have? You sing phenomenally. Well, thank you, Danielle. I appreciate that. I've been singing since I was born, basically. My whole mom's side is very musical. Everyone played a Tommy, I'm going to kick you out of the chat, man. My whole mom's side is very musical. Everyone plays an instrument. So I grew up singing at family occasions. I grew up singing all the Disney movies. I remember when I'd be like 5 years old when Beauty and the Beast came out, and I would sing every note in that whole show, like the whole Gaston song. I would do all the voice parts, the whole, Belle going through the town, all the voice parts. So I've been singing since I was a kid, but specifically for developing my upper range and developing all the power and resonance required for opera singing, that is all training. And it is remarkable how much more powerful the voice gets and has to get necessarily to be an opera singer from, hours upon hours for years upon years upon decades. That's the only way in opera you make it to the big stage and can really compete with a full orchestra in a big opera house. It's nuts. The genre itself is totally a product of the past when people had way more time and everything wasn't so fast paced, because like opera careers are very slow. There's some roles that I won't sing. Like my voice won't be mature enough for 20 years to be able to sing them really without getting too far in the weeds. It's that your opera career kind of develops a lot with your biology and with your training. But yes, a lot of training has gone into my voice. A lot. Oh boy, I'm getting behind. I might have to skip some. Tommy said, yes, the belt I was talking about in all the files I sent the guys to record, I called it the mega belt. And I said, here's what I did. Anyone is welcome. The only person I really need to do it is our collaborator, who did pull it off. Everyone else, I was like, if you do it, I'll put you in the mix. Go for it. Because it's a pretty heroic. It's a heroic belt for a bass voice. What are the odds of your dubstep background hitting the arranging for the bass gang? Like an acapella song or like non-acapella and like do dubstep with like bass vocals, which is like my cover of Enemy. I think both are possible. I've done both. There was a song, if you guys want to go check this out, I was in a group called Exit 245, which I'll actually leave right here. One section. Doesn't lag. I was in a group called That in undergrad, and I did an arrangement of Drag Me Down. But actually what I did was I made a dubstep remix of Drag Me Down by One Direction, and then arranged that dubstep remix into voice parts. And it's pretty crazy. It's on our EP from 2016 called Prototype. Prototype, I think is what it's called. And it's a pretty crazy acapella arrangement, and it's very dubsteppy. So maybe. Have you heard of Luke Taylor? Of course. Luke is a friend. We interact on TikTok and Instagram, and yeah, we're very much aware of each other. He has an incredible voice. I kind of wish he would come sing some. I wish he could start training opera in addition to his other stuff, because I think he has. I think he could. It's a lot more than just what you have naturally. Of course, opera comes so much down to the training and mastering the languages and the diction and the acting and the artistry and a million other things. But like, if you just listen to Luke Taylor's voice, you're like, that could be an operatic bass. Like, that's what you want as a starting point for an operatic bass. Fernie, welcome. Welcome. Sorry to disappoint. Well, Tommy's kidding. Sorry to disappoint. I do not plan on demonstrating my vocal range on this live stream. If you want to check my vocal range, go check out Adam B's YouTube channel. He has my full vocal range from like a year ago in recorded music. Have I seen Avi cry? Yes. I believe he cried when he did his Farewell from Pentatonics video. It's very touching. I remember watching that when it came out. Yes. Tommy defending the honor of the mega belt. Yeah, Tommy is the king of whistle tones, king of the falsetto. I can get up to soprano high C, and Tommy can for sure go higher than that with a lot of control. But yeah, this belt is like It is, in my opinion, it is like absolutely as far as full chest can go for a bass. A high A flat, sustained, touching on a B flat. That is like anything above that, even tenors start like shifting their resonance a little bit. I was talking to one of the really wonderful tenors at AVA the other day about it. He was like, yeah, honestly, my loudest notes are probably like B flat or B flat or A4, because above that, there's just, you wouldn't be able to tell timbrally probably the difference, but there's just it just has to become a slightly lighter mechanism, even if it's fully connected. And this guy has the biggest high C's I've ever heard in person. It will like knock you to a wall. They're so loud. It's crazy. But even he says like, yeah, B flat's probably my loudest note. And then it like has to thin out a little bit going up higher. So yeah, these belts are bonkers. I mean, you'll hear them in the song. It's my song. It's coming out last. So you have to wait like a while, but hello. Thank you all. Oh, Sean Connolly, welcome. Sean is a dear friend of mine, all the way back from must be freshman year on the football team and then the track team. And I used to always sing Old Man River in high school on the way to track meets, and just people always requested it on bus rides, whatever. The coaches loved it. Everyone loved it. And so whenever we're together in like a group setting with the guys again, I always sing Old Man River for them. Sean, not tonight, my friend, but soon enough. Hope to see you soon. Grayson wants my lowest chest note. This is always happen on live streams. People always want the bass singers to just sing as low as they can. My lowest chest note right now feels like it would be about a C, a C2, maybe a B1. You can hear that on my channel or Jeff's channel. It won't be any more exciting right now, I promise. Fiona Jane. Every time I say Fiona Jane, I'm talking about the History Quine. How's your acting coming along in opera roles? She recently watched Turandot by Puccini, wonderful opera. Yeah, it's interesting because, you can get, it's tough. I mean, acting in opera is difficult. It is getting better for sure. I feel very connected to my character I'm doing right now because I put a lot of time into it. But there's opera's about the voice primarily. If you sacrifice the vocals, you don't have a chance against the orchestra. You just don't have a chance. So like you have to maximize, efficiency and power and all that stuff first. Once that all becomes muscle memory and like you do it automatically, then you lean more into the acting. So to answer your question in short, it is certainly getting better. And yeah, often on the big stages, you'll see people doing more of what's called a park and bark, where they're just kind of standing there and they're singing incredibly, but they're not expressing too much. It's because they're focusing on making sure that sound fills that, 3,000 seat opera house or whatever. And you can't be screwing around up there. Thank you, Becky. Oh, yes. Wow. Okay. Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention there are super likes and stuff that has been approved for my channel. So, yeah, if you want to comment to stick around for a while, throw a few dollars. Hi, Peter. Huge fan. Thank you. Marwan Amon. Nice to see you. Yeah. Hey, welcome. Welcome to the chat, Marwan Aman. Yeah, maybe we can work together sometime. That'd be fun if you make your own stuff. I don't know. Never heard of you. Welcome, Marwan, the prodigy, the 18-year-old phenom. You guys know he's incredible. Go watch his stuff. The best up and comer in acapella, in my opinion. Ben S. Hey, Peter, when do you think the Bass Gang Volume 2 comes out? Well, it will start coming out. The trailer for it will come out, I believe it is the 16th of May. And every Monday after that will be a new release. So the last release, I think, which is the song I arranged, is June 13th. Like I said, we're prioritizing our collaborators building those relationships and making sure the quality is the highest product. Because I actually chatted with Bobby on the phone for like an hour a few weeks ago. And we were talking about this, just like what people are going to remember months, years after this comes out is not whether it came out all in May, because may the base be with you. It's going to be the quality. It's going to be the quality of the product. So whatever we need to do to make sure that happens, we're going to do it. But yes, right now we have a pretty set in stone plan. May 16th for the trailer, and every Monday after that, a new song comes out. And also the Bass Gang is going to be on Patreon, and we are actually going to start being very active on our socials. So, last year we just put the EP out, and then we did the Emperor's New Clothes for Halloween, and that was it. And we don't really do anything on social media. That is going to change. So we are actually going to be an active entity, much more like the Wellerman have been. For those that follow the Wellerman, they're posting all the time. They're interacting with people, more like that. But yeah, coming soon. The trailer is coming out very soon, and it will wet your whistle sufficiently for the upcoming projects. Big fans of Marwan here. Yes, good. Joseph. Kufi, welcome. Shout out to the Kufi gang. I'm sure there are some people here in the Kufi gang. And thank you, man. Thank you for the congratulations. I believe if you're not there yet, you're very close to 50K. So you might have to do one of these celebrations as well if you haven't already. If you did, I'm sorry I missed it. I'll have to go back and watch it. Do you think you have more range on mic or singing openly operatic style? From Joseph. Well, you can make singing on mic as much as loud or soft as you want. You could make the world's softest singer sound way louder than the world's loudest opera singer, just because of how electricity works. It can overpower the human voice. So that kind of answers that question. I mean, you would never need to sing as powerfully as an opera singer on mic, if the amplification system is being used properly. So it's a hard question to answer, because you can make any sound as loud as you want, basically, with a microphone and with speakers. Avi did see Tommy. Yeah, you know why? Because Tommy is 6'6". If he comes to one of your shows, you can't miss him. No, it's super, super, super cool that Avi noticed Tommy in the crowd, and much deserved. And the timing was perfect, because Tommy had just dropped that Avi Kaplan medley, which is so good. Grayson, how do you do chest fry mix? How do you do it? I mean, see, the thing about chest fry, which is a little misleading, and I didn't like this name. I didn't like how it was named when I first joined BSN like 2 years ago. It is actually just vocal fry. It's a very strong, like breath supported, good vocal fold closure vocal fry. You're actually not really singing in chest voice, really at all. It just sounds like you have chest resonance if it's strong enough. So a good chest fry mix is really just really strong vocal fry, and that's probably gonna for some people, but that's really what's happening there. And you just build it up like you do, the rest of your range. You got to train it down there. I haven't done much. I think my chest fry got really strong because of the operatic training. It just kind of strengthened my whole system, which made the chest fry much stronger, than it was when I started out. There's some chest fries on, albums I recorded with Exit 245 back from 2015, 2016, and they're okay. And I have some Snapchats from, 2018, 2019, just like taking videos of some chest fry stuff, and it's strong. But it clearly there's a very clear progression as my voice got stronger with opera. The chest fry also got stronger. So strengthen your whole voice and mess around, play around in the chest fry part of your range, and you'll see progress. I guarantee it. Thank you, Paula. Can't get enough of that. Is so sweet. Well, there's much more of my voice on the way, covers and other things. Okay. Almost there. Yeah, Kufi's almost to 50K. I don't know who Tim Warwick is. Brady asks, what do you think about a Tim Warwick collab? I don't know Tim. I don't know that Tim. Tim Faust collab. That's certainly one we're thinking about, which would be super cool. Yeah, Tommy is mad tall. And for people asking, it's really funny. There are a lot of very, very tall opera singers at ABA. So often I'm posting pictures and people are like, oh my gosh, you're so short, which also is just like kind of rude to say. Like, I don't know why people comment that anyway, but there are like a bunch of guys who are like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3" at ABA. And so I'm like always hanging out with these people. Like I took a picture the other day at a restaurant, which I put on my YouTube, with my friend Sean, who's like 6'2", 275 pounds. I mean, he's like as big as like a small NFL lineman, huge guy. And, he had heels on his shoes and I was wearing loafers. He was slightly uphill from me. And he's like just towering over me. Like, look, he's twice as big. They're like, oh my God, dude, you're tiny. And I'm like, I'm 5'9", 175 pounds. I'm not tall, but I'm not tiny. So yeah, and also it's actually true. Like opera singers tend to be taller, and I don't actually know much about this. I mean, sometimes bigger people might have bigger voices, but you can also have smaller people with very big voices. So I don't think there's much correlation, but opera singers you do find are tall. I mean, like a lot of the women are like more like 5'6" to 5'8" instead of the average in America being 5'4". Most of the women are like close to as tall as I am. And most of the guys are tall for some reason. So that's that. Oh, we're getting some heights in here. Yeah, see, look at all these normal heights. Actually, it's fun. I mean, one of the casts for Bohem is me and a bunch of like very average height people. And I'm just like, when we're taking bows, it's like it's all along except one guy who's 6'3", but it's like, average, super tall guy. But that's like it's like all the people that height in the school on the stage at the same time. There's a lot of tall people. What's my gym split? Oh, that's a question I wasn't expecting. It's changed a lot over the years. I used to be super, super, super crazy about the gym back when it was my priority and was possibly going to be my career as like a fitness model, which I did a little bit of. Not a fan. And especially personal training. I was certified as a personal trainer for 4 years. And I would go to the gym. I would lift, 6 days a week, a couple hours a day. When that was like, not even when it was super intense. Nowadays, it's much more chill. Nowadays, it's much more just about maintenance and, like longevity, basically. So I'm lifting usually 3 days a week now. I'll do, maybe a push day, a pull day, and legs, or I'll split it up into 4 days. And it's not like every Monday is chest day, every Tuesday is back day. It's not like that. It's just kind of like I just cycle through it as it comes around. And there were actually, during this production of Bohem that got so busy, I wasn't even going to the gym Monday through Friday, which for anyone that knows me is totally insane because they remember how crazy I used to be about fitness. It was like 7 days a week, never miss a day, or I'm going to crumple into a pile of whatever. So me not going to the gym Monday through Friday is like crazy, but I'm at a point now where I can take a step back and I can, clearly see the priorities. And right now the priorities are music, number one being opera, number two being all this other stuff I'm doing. And so, yeah, the gym's got to take a back seat sometime, but it's also helped me figure out how much you can do with nutrition, which I won't go into because this channel is about music. I'm not going to give you all a speech about nutrition and fitness, but my diet has been super, super dialed in, while my gym has been lacking big time. My lifting's been lacking and not much difference. Not much difference. If anything, just like I've lost some body fat and have, maintained strength and size. And it's, but a great question. If Manav, if you want to talk more about that, shoot me a message on Instagram because I'm super down to talk fitness. But that's probably a better place for us to do it than here. Yeah, opera singer. I would say average height for baritone and bass opera singers is probably like 6 feet. That makes sense. Paul, a comment about Jeff. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, he does have a rather nasal approach to his singing. My only guess there is if you are prioritizing flow of sound, sometimes it helps to just keep the nasal port open a little bit. Like your nasal port's open when you speak. And so to make it a little more speech-like, sometimes you can keep the nasal port open and it helps the sound flow consistently. And Jeff's all about that line, keeping a nice smooth line, smooth delivery, which I talk about a lot when I do videos for him. So that's the thing. I mean, yeah, he could, if he wanted to change it, he could work on closing the nasal passage a little bit to kind of shut off some of that nasality. But then you also have to learn how to keep the flow of sound while doing that, which is what we do in opera. In opera, the nasal passage, unless you're singing a nasal vowel, like a nasal vowel in French, nasal passage is closed and the sound's coming, closed nasal patches, vocal folds through the pharynx, out the mouth, no nasal involvement. That's raising your soft palate. You raise your soft palate, it blocks off the nasal passage. So we do that in opera, and of course we have to learn how to make a super legato, smooth flowing vocal line. And Jeff just uses his nasal passage for that. So that's my best guess as to why he does that, why he sings a little bit more nasal than, and I've seen comments about his singing before that it bugs people when he sings a little more nasal, but I think it's just because he prioritizes that flow. And he does have a very nice flow, very smooth delivery of his singing. Oh, haha, yes. EHT18. What along with yes, that's right. We met yesterday. Lovely meeting you as well. Would you drop your I don't remember if we exchanged names there. Oh, there we go. Yes, good to see you again. Thank you. Yeah, long story short, I was out at lunch with some family who were in town to see Bohem, and we were talking about this live stream. And the lady next to me was in town with her daughter, who's also a musician. They overheard me talking about the live stream, and we talked about the YouTube channel. And she said she was going to come, and here she is. So thank you so much for coming, for joining the live stream. Also, I have no idea as far as length of the live stream. I have no idea. I literally had no plan coming into this. It's just like get in here, have a drink, chat with people, and answer questions. So yeah, keep the questions coming. Basically, your questions are going to keep this live stream going. So ask away. Have you seen MHA Ma? I have not. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. What is that? What is Ma or MHA? Movie, show, music video, song? Don't know. I should do a fitness channel if time allows. I used to have a fitness Instagram. Got rid of it, got out of it because I found that the fitness world was extremely toxic and vain. And there's all this complete BS posting about all these people being motivating, but they're not. It's just all coded in vanity. It's like false modesty left and right. And I was just like, I just can't do it. So I got out of that and I switched back to just, making sure I stay healthy and, passing on knowledge about nutrition and fitness when people are interested, especially people in the opera world, because, there's kind of a bad rep with lifting in the opera world because, truth be told, it can totally tighten up your whole system and it can affect your breath support. And, if you're doing like back or shoulder exercises, it can make all this tight, which makes your voice tight, which is not good. So you have to learn how to do both if you want to be physically healthy and be an opera singer. But really, singing should be a very physical thing. You should learn how to use these muscles like use the rest of your muscles and learn how to contract them and flex them to use them as breath support. And if you don't know how to do that and you do it naturally, then when something goes wrong, you don't know what's gone wrong. So it's actually, I think, better to treat singing opera athletically, in an athletic way. And my voice teacher agrees. And my voice teacher has taught, I don't even know, so many of the world's leading opera stars of the last 30 years. So he knows a thing or two. How deep can I go? In chest voice, most mornings B flat 1, sometimes A1, sometimes G sharp 1. I have never recorded lower than a G sharp 1. It's possible that after some night of drinking, I might have had a G1. Probably not. And during the day, usually a low C or B1. If I go to the practice room and warm up, I can usually get down to a B1 in chest. I don't know about, subs. I've recorded down to C1 in subs. Chest fry, I don't know how to quantify chest fry because I can fry super low, but at some point it loses so much quality and power. Pretty much any technique does, I can record a solid chest fry down to C1. So I generally say that's kind of the bottom of like the range where I can have quality. C1 to I've actually recorded a very solid C6, a couple of them. So I kind of say that's like my max range, C1 to C6, all of which will be in my Game of Thrones theme song cover, which is coming out in a couple months. Pretty wild. Do I do any yoga for stretching and breathing? I do full body stretching every time I sing, before I sing, practice, perform. I have never gotten super into yoga. It is something that interests me, but I do like a 10-minute meditation every morning, and I do the full body stretching and breathing exercises before I sing. But that's about it. It's about 10, 15 minutes before I sing of the breathing and the stretching, and then 10 minutes of meditation in the morning. With that, I feel pretty zen, pretty cool all day. Evan asks, what's the biggest difference between singing opera live and acapella recorded? Oh my God. They are so radically different. I can't even. The biggest difference. Okay. The biggest difference is when you're recording, you can make any volume of sound be as big as you want to in a mix. So you can sing a super breathy, super soft, sing like jazzy singer-songwriter, whatever, and you can have that in your face in the mix, and it could be the loudest thing. Whereas for opera, it has to be, everything you sing is loud on a relative scale. But the big notes that are really competing with a full orchestra have to be like ridiculously loud. And there's nothing you can do about the mix. You just have to be loud enough and efficient enough and have enough resonance to be heard over the orchestra. So that's kind of the biggest difference. It's just like you can get away with doing absolutely anything in a studio because you can edit it later and you can make it as loud as you want or as soft as you want, and you can EQ it a certain way to have it sit differently in the mix. When it's live, that's it. Whatever you do in that moment is what stays. And when you are competing with an orchestra, it has to be big enough to where the audience can hear it over the orchestra. So you can't pull back and sing like a singer-songwriter on an operatic stage, or even singing with just piano. If you're singing with just piano, you still have to be loud if the piano is really letting it rip. The piano is actually much louder than most people think. So that's the biggest difference, is there's basically no compromise for volume in a live setting, operatic setting, and there's every compromise during and afterwards for acapella and other recorded genres. Singing the same line 10 times and do that for yeah, that's right. Yeah, for the live performance, it's one run through for I guess in the practice room, that's when you do all the repetitions to prepare, or the coachings or the lessons or whatever. But yeah, singing in the studio, sometimes to get that good take, you got to do it a bunch, and then it's because it's recorded and it's going to be so hyper focused, it's got to be perfect. And also, there is only so much you can do with editing. Like I was talking about earlier, when I was trying to do that really high A flat to B flat belt, and I was doing it kind of operatically with the operatic space and stuff like that. All the editing in the world could not make that belt, that style of phonation, sound like what I wanted. The core of the sound is unchangeable, even in editing. So that's why you really do want to have a really good take, because the core of that take is going to stay no matter how much editing you do. That's a misconception. People think you can do absolutely anything with editing. It's not the case. There's a certain amount you can get away with before it gets really noticeable and fake sounding. But the core quality of a sound is very tough to change. At least it's far beyond my editing capacity. Holly, will or have you done a reaction video to Jeff's version of Big John? Keep up the great work and congratulations. Thank you, Holly. I have not done a video to Jeff's version of Big John, but I'll talk about it now briefly. I've seen it now. I've seen reaction videos to it. I thought he did a fantastic job with it, as always. I thought his low notes were absolutely huge and deep and awesome. I don't think my video for it would be that interesting because it's fairly one-dimensional as a song. It's the low notes he sings keep coming back. It's kind of the same, for the most part, the same cadence to the end of each verse, each phrase, whatever. It's very speech-like aside. He's telling the story, and it doesn't really change, and it doesn't have a lot of the hyper creativity as far as risk taking with the arrangement that Jeff will have often in his arrangements. So I just don't think I can add that much. I don't think my expertise will go that far in terms of breaking down that song. I think everyone who's done reactions for it so far, and most people have covered probably everything I would say, most of it anyway. And you've already heard my breakdowns on a lot of Jeff's similar vocalism type stuff. Not to say I won't keep breaking down Jeff's music, even if I say the same stuff, because Jeff makes great music. But I've talked about how he produces his low notes. I've talked about how he does his speech stuff and his low chest voice and breathy versus compressed and all these things. But yeah, so I'm not planning on doing a video for Big John. I kind of chose to do Ain't No Sunshine instead. I was kind of going to do one of the two just because of how much time I had. And I think there turned out, it was a first time viewing, but there turned out to be more to talk about in Ain't No Sunshine. So I don't plan on going back to do Big Bad John. But we'll see. You never know. If people keep requesting it for the next 6 months, I might have to. With him working on crisper consonants. This is from Melinda. Hi, Melinda. Yes. I mean, yeah. It would make the speech much clearer and much more intelligible, which I think I've talked about before as well on his vocalism. Crisper consonants, yeah, they really help, especially in this day and age. There's a lot of non-native English speakers listening to this content, and so I think it's helpful for the most part to be clear with speech when you can, without it being too robotic sounding, too formal sounding. And yeah, Jeff, I think if he did have crisper consonants, that would just help. And the thing is, you can do that and keep that's the thing. You can have very crisp consonants and maintain the same level of fluidity in the vocal line. If you couldn't, it would be impossible to sing legato in German. And I guarantee you, not impossible. It's tough because those huge consonant clusters in German, but we do it all the time. Singing operatic roles and singing art song. You have to learn how to sing legato, even against consonants. It's very tough for Russian, too. Russian even can be difficult in English. Italian, by far the easiest to sing legato. It's so vowel-driven that it makes it easy. But yeah, you can sing very beautiful, smooth legato line in German. And if you can do that, you can totally do it in English. So it is possible. Behind the glamour. Yeah. So I learned about chest rock from you and how it's actually quiet without editing. Yeah. I mean, and especially the other thing is low notes. Guys, low notes are not that loud. They're just not. I mean, I go to school with one very legit operatic basso profundo, like the biggest, loudest low notes that a person can have. And those low notes are not nearly as loud as him or me or anyone singing, in their middle range. They're just not as loud. So low notes can sound so big, but they're just not that big in person, which is really interesting. And so, and a lot of times in these studio recordings and stuff, the low notes will sound bigger than the high notes. Like, like a Jeff low G will sound louder than like him belting in high chest voice. It's not even close in person. Not even close. If you just like set up a microphone and put them 100 away from each other where the microphone wouldn't be compressing the sound or anything like that, it's such a joke. It's such a joke how much louder high notes are when sung properly than low notes. Yeah, so that's a good point. So yeah, chest fry. I mean, if you heard my chest fry in person, it's just not as loud as the rest of my voice. It's not even as loud as my speaking voice when I'm speaking normally. And you guys know I'm pretty solid at chest fry. Like as far as chest fry goes, I can make a lot of noise. I can use chest fry in a choral setting, no problem. I can sing down for sure to I could use an F1. I bet, in a choral setting, if the choir is being relatively soft. Even that, not loud. It's just not loud. So it's a really interesting point that Behind the Glamour just made. It's very true. It's true of chest fry. It's true of subs. It's true of anything super low in the vocal range. It just necessarily can't be as loud. Now, that said, I would be interested to hear someone like Glenn Miller in person because he is the primo basso profundo in the world right now and has the biggest, most resonant low notes in the world. So I'll be interested to see how not his super, super low stuff, but how loud his low C would sound compared to me singing something operatic in my middle range. I can't say because I haven't heard him in person, but my guess is a voice like that, it might be a lot closer. Not compared to super high range. It's just never going to be as loud as a big high range chest note. But I bet, a voice like Glenn Miller, I bet his low C's are shockingly loud for low notes. So that's that. That's my hot take on low notes. Oh boy, this really picked up. I have not seen Black Butler, the TV show. Thank you. From Australia. Hey, yo, I desperately need to visit Australia. Who's the lowest bass in BSN? Fernie's one of the lowest basses. Hey, Fernie. FA's not the lowest. He's down there. There are some young guys in BSN that have gone down to F1 in chest on occasion. Who's the one guy? No, one guy is the lowest. It's absurd. It's the lowest voice I've ever heard in my life. I swear it's lower than Glenn Miller. I don't know what his name is. Fernie, if you know, you got to know the guy I'm talking about. It was the guy I thought was modulating his voice in the server for 6 months. I was like, there's no way this is real. There's no possible way this voice is real. It's so low and dark. Don't remember his name, but that guy. I have seen the House of the Dragon trailer. Yes, so excited for it. And I'm actually going to coordinate my release of the Game of Thrones theme song with the new show. So I'm going to try and maximize the exposure there. Ben asks, now I have a wondering question. Will Volume 2 be on your channel or the Bass Gang channel? Bass Gang channel. All Bass Gang content will be on the Bass Gang channel from now on. What you will see on my channel and all the other guys' channels is the trailer. So we are all going to upload the trailer so that we, maximize that exposure. I don't think we're uploading teasers to all our channels. Maybe we haven't decided yet. But the main releases will be on the Bass Gang channel official. So that's where you want to go. If you're not subscribed to the Bass Gang channel, go do that right now. That is where All our projects are going to be coming out over the next 5 weeks. So definitely go do that. Good question. Okay. A tutorial on how to mix acapella stuff. Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do. That'd be a good thing to do. Yeah, I mean, I consider myself sufficient at mixing acapella. I don't consider myself professional level. That's one reason I'm now more often hiring people to mix, master the audio for me, because I can do a pretty darn good job, but not a professional job. Like I can't mix like as well as whoever mixes for voice play. Is it Lane? I've heard it's Lane. Just not that good at it. It's a simple fact. But I certainly know enough to make a tutorial about how to do it. So yeah, that's a good idea. Elizabeth Chetwood, have you ever considered evaluating bad technique performances? Well, yes, I have considered it, but I mean, it would be ruthless. It would hard if I was going to do it for the point of critiquing. Like I'm going to critique this technique, which could be done for any video I watch. It would be ruthless. I mean, it's like the amount of scrutiny that we are under in the opera world, especially at an institution like Academy of Vocal Arts, notoriously the most intense training program in the world for opera, notoriously. I mean, it's like you can pick apart anything short of complete perfection of language, all the pronunciation, the artistic choice, the vocal technique, the passaggi, how they're navigating every single note within the range, how they're transitioning from one note to the next, the resonance, slight shift of resonance I mean, you can get so in the weeds that it would, I mean, I would look like the biggest asshole in the world. It's like the world I live in. The opera world is like super perfectionist, but to get a full view inside of that from anyone outside of the opera world, you'd be like, wow, this guy is such an asshole. Like, how can he critique that tiny thing that like most people wouldn't even hear it? That's the thing. It's like any, I try to tell people, it's like any discipline. All these people here in the chat are way better than me at whatever they do for a living. Way better. And I'm sure there are facets of whatever they do that if you explained it to me, I'd be like, I just don't get it. Your ears literally develop by listening to opera singers and operatic technique over a long period of time, to the point where nowadays, after having been at AVA for almost 2 full years, I'm now finally starting to hear what the coaches are talking about when they're critiquing things in my voice. I'm just now starting to understand some of the things they're talking about. And like the head guy there, he's 86. He's the hardest dude in the opera world. He has been the reason for success for so many of the world's opera stars. That dude hears everything. You sing a phrase one way, he's absolutely disgusted by it. You have no idea what you did wrong. And I'm telling you, and this is all people who are professional opera singers, which is, it's not like we're beginners and we're floundering around. We're professional opera singers, and he still hears that much that we can't hear. So it's like a developing ear thing. So point being, if I did this critique video, I'd be dumping on these people for technique and all stuff. And chances are 98% of the people listening wouldn't even hear the differences I'm talking about, which is just crazy. So yes, I have considered it. Is it a good idea? Probably not. Good question, though. Okay, let's see. Do you do exercise to help you form the words you're singing clearly? How do you sing both clearly and loudly? It is all about being able to maintain breath support and airflow through the consonants. So basically what happens, especially to younger singers when they're learning how to sing opera, is if there's a bunch of consonants in their vocal line, it's going to be very choppy. because they haven't quite figured out how to keep the whole motion moving through, not really sing through the consonants. It's like a stop start kind of thing. And of course, this comes down to like milliseconds. It's not like they're pausing for a second every time they hit consonants. But yeah, you learn how to develop the breath support and keeping everything relaxed and flowing no matter what's happening with the text. And it does just take a lot of time. And as far as being loud, that just comes with, building up resonance, building up power over years and years and years. So you get to the point where, any phrase, no matter how many consonants there are, you can sing with very clear diction, and you can sing it very smoothly, and you can sing it very loudly. Anything. So that's kind of the goal of opera singers. All those things we're talking about there. Glenfiddich. Fiddich. Tall eyes. Sorry, I'm looking at Fiona Jane's question. If I can sing in German, I should be able to pronounce Glenfiddich. Glenfiddich is how I would say it in German, if that's right. Okay. Oh, she'd said that earlier. Say it like it's in German. I can do that. Wait, yes. I did forget to. Oh boy. I'm sorry. I've gotten way behind on the chat here, but that's a good thing. We've had like 100 people here for the last hour and 15 minutes. Very successful live stream. Beep boop bop. Yes. A couple here. I don't know how to spell it. Purpler. It's either purpler or purplayer. Hello from Greece. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's a username or a name. You've missed an hour and 16 minutes and 37 seconds so far, but welcome. We'll go on for a little bit longer. 3 a.m. there. Wow. Bless you for making it to the live stream. Yeah, that's the thing is I know a lot of my audience is not in the U.S. and I didn't really know how many people would show up or didn't really expect anything. So anyone who's here at weird hours, cheers. Cheers to you. Andre, am I going to do another Diana Ankudinova reaction analysis? Yes, she is on my short list. It's been too long. I've done 3 Dimash now and only 1 Diana. So that'll happen soon. I got to figure out which one I want to do and when, but it'll be this summer for sure. Probably the next couple months. Yes, another one from Fiona Jane. You forgot to mention my Peaky Blinders song. True. I have an original song coming out. Well, it's an original song. It's not written by me. It's written by my friend George, but we are releasing it through my platform because I have a pretty large platform now. And it is like the absolute perfect song for Tommy Shelby, for anyone who's seen Peaky Blinders. Absolutely fantastic. And that is coming out June 13th on my YouTube not June 13th, probably June 12th or June 14th, because June 13th will be the last Bass Gang release. So I don't want to compete there. But yeah, basically, he wrote this song years ago. We revisited it during the pandemic and we're like, oh my God, this is absolutely perfect for Tommy Shelby and the Peaky Blinders. And so he redid all the instrumentation for it and turned it into like that kind of like grungy alternative rock that's like a theme throughout Peaky Blinders. And that is going to be coming out June 12 or 14, most likely. It's a very good song. Thank you for that reminder. So that's 3 songs I have coming out unrelated to the Bass Gang. Oh, come on. Do it. Do bad performances. I'm telling you, y'all don't want the smoke. And whoever I'm commenting on definitely does not want the smoke. But I'm glad I have some encouragement. Some people would enjoy it. Oh, my God. What are my career goals? Whoo. What a great question. Primarily, I would love to have an opera career where I make it to the point of singing roles, ideally lead principal roles on the world's biggest opera stages. every opera singer dream. So yeah, singing something like Don Giovanni at the Metropolitan Opera. That's like my peak career goal. That'd be incredible. As far as everything non-related to opera, I don't really have anything finite. A kind of nebulous career goal is certainly to start releasing my own original music at some point. I obviously want to get at least to, 1 million subscribers on YouTube, but I think that'll happen much sooner than expected, probably between bass gang stuff and between the channel just kind of hitting a critical mass and growing. Yeah. So really for me, like goals is more, I think more opera related. And for everything else, it's like, let's work hard and let's see how far we can go with everything. But constantly changing, constantly reevaluating, the balance I want in my life between opera and non-operatic stuff. Right now, I'm totally trying to structure it to be kind of half and half. I'm planning next year probably to be my last year at the Academy of Vocal Arts, and then to go fully professional into opera, and hopefully spend half the year performing and half of the year working on stuff with the bass gang and working on my own original music, and doing fun collaborations, doing reaction analysis. So yeah, that's that. So nothing super set in stone. I'm basically just working hard all the time to keep advancing the ball in all of my various projects. Okay. Yes, Corpse Husband. Super low voice. Oh, I'm glad this stream is relaxing. That's very good. I've heard my voice is relaxing. That's another reason. Well, among many reasons, I do plan on bringing back my podcast at some point, because I think there's so much potential for that to be a great podcast about the voice and about voice acting and about singing. But you guys know how much I have on my plate right now. No possible way to do it at the moment. That's kind of thing. It might be kind of tabled for the next like year and a half or so until, like I said a second ago, I'm out of AVA, and I can kind of hopefully tailor my schedule more to my own liking. That'll be a great time to get the podcast going again. But yeah, the people who've listened to it really like it. And yeah, I do hear that my speech is relaxing. And I'm glad. I try to be a relaxing presence in people's lives, a even-keeled kind of person. That has been a review of mine since, for sure, undergrad. I remember we were doing our kind of like senior send-offs for the top chamber choir at James Madison. And one thing everyone said was just like, yeah, we just all get calmer when you walk in the room and hop in the bass section. And I'm like, that's really sweet. I'm really glad I have a calming presence and speaking voice. So that is another reason I want to get the podcast going again, is it's all audio. It's just like me talking with people, probably a lot of basses too. Cover the Red Right Hand. Yeah, that's theme song for Peaky Blinders. It's so good. I was talking with Efe a while back, the guy who just did the Avi Kaplan medley with Tommy. We were talking about maybe doing a cover of that together. I think his voice would be perfect for it. So maybe we'll have to revisit that. Roy asks, "Hi Roy, how are you?" Roy asks, "Peter, did you do any opera in California after you graduated?" No, I mean, I graduated during the pandemic, like during the heat of the pandemic in May of 2020, and then moved to Virginia. So I was supposed to sing a Guglielmo in Così fan tutte with Pacific Opera Project. That was going to be my first professional lead role, and it got canceled. We got through day one of rehearsals, and then it got canceled. So that was a huge bummer. So I have not had a chance to go back and perform in California. I had 2 offers to perform professionally in California this summer, but I'm already tied up and under contract with Santa Fe. Otherwise, I probably would have. But it's totally on the list. I mean, I would love to sing obviously Los Angeles Opera. That's a top 6 company in the States. Huge opera house. Santa Barbara Opera would be a lot of fun. Opera San Jose. There's a lot of solid opera companies out there that I do hope to work for. Meg says, totally not worth critiquing the office stuff. Take it from someone who deals with touching egotistical artists all the time. Yeah, I bet you do in your field. But that's the thing is I can tear apart stuff that's already good, like good singers. Just like anything that's not completely perfect. That's what I mean. I mean, if I'm critiquing someone who's obviously bad at singing, that's just like mean and like pointless. It would be me like it'd be like if I did a video where I was really trying to critique like Dimash. People would have a fit. People would have an absolute fit if I went full into it and critiqued him as if I were critiquing like an opera singer who's been singing opera professionally for 20, 30 years. It's a different scale. And Dimash is one of the most talented vocalists in the world, objectively. And I can say that for real. Ridiculously talented. But I just don't think it'd be much fun. I just think I would just look like an asshole. I don't like looking like an asshole. Yeah, anyone who's up right now during the wee hours, thank you for coming. It's not going to go much longer. I have a huge mountain of sushi waiting for me. Because weekends are generally my high carb days. Quick thing about diet. Right now I am actively losing weight, so I'm in a caloric deficit during the week, and then I go in a caloric surplus during the weekends to rev my metabolism back up. Enough about that. But I do pretty much every Saturday or Sunday night crush a full pizza, and the other night I will crush a bunch of sushi and fried rice. So tonight is sushi and fried rice, and I'm very excited, and I'm getting very hungry. Yes, Royal Opera House. Royal Opera House is for sure like top 3 houses in the world I want to sing at. Absolute dream. I want to sing at the Opera House, and then I want to dress like a Peaky Blinder and go out in the town afterwards. And I want to invite people from the Peaky Blinders cast to come see the show. These are my dreams. Yeah, the Royal Opera House is amazing. And I went there when I was in London, and I saw Bryn Terfel, very famous bass baritone, sing Falstaff. And it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Tommy, I can't believe you're up, bro. Tommy and I did like an hour and a half of mastering earlier on his song for the Bass Gang. And he was like, yeah, man, I'll come to your live stream. I was like, dude, it's going to be pretty late for you. And he's the man. Tommy, you're the man. I love you. Yes, San Francisco Opera. That's another top 6 house in the States. I would love to sing at San Francisco Opera. Hopefully, the career goes well for sure in the next, 5 years, maybe. That'd be fantastic. Ever fancy from Zach? Ever fancy reviewing some of Cole McGinnis? Yeah, Cole's a friend. He's become a friend over the last year and a half. I love his stuff. I think his voice is fantastic. I think his voice is fantastic for reasons most people don't pay as much attention to. Most people focus on his super dark low range. I think his high range is far more impressive. I'm kind of obsessed with it. I haven't reviewed his music before, but it's totally possible. Yeah, totally possible. And yeah, no, a decent. Yeah, I wouldn't. The thing is, Simon Cowell. I mean, the guy obviously has an eye for talent. He wouldn't be in the position he is without it. But none of the people really know singing. I hate to say it. None of the people judging American Idol really know singing. I mean, they think these clowns, they come off the street and try to sing Nessun Dorma are good opera singers. And they're not. No one who's ever gone on a show like that to sing opera is anywhere close to as good as professional opera singers. It's a fact. Absolute fact. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That's the kind of stuff where it just takes a developed ear to hear it. But I mean, you hear like the 10-year-old sopranos go on and sing some soprano aria, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, world-class opera singer. It's not even close, y'all. I hate to say it. It's not even close. And those judges think it is. And so to me, that's like, well, you guys don't, some singing, but you don't really know great singing. So no, I would not be a Simon Cowell. I'd be a much more informed Simon Cowell as far as technique goes. Thank you, Tommy. The stream is fire. Good. I'm glad. I've literally just been talking for an hour and a half. This is like the weirdest thing in the world. I'm just reading and talking. And she knows my voice is actually getting pretty tired because I'm not talking with like support or health or anything. I'm like, oh, my voice is kind of going away. Top six. Oh, good question. Top 6 houses beside the Met. So when I say top 6, I'm talking about the U.S. specifically. So you have Metropolitan Opera, Chicago Lyric Opera, Houston Grand Opera, Washington National Opera, Los Angeles Opera, San Francisco Opera. Those are the top 6 in the United States. Those are all A houses, is what it's called. A houses. And then you have other A houses elsewhere in the world. Royal Opera House is an A house. Paris Opera, A house. Staatsoper Berlin is an A house. La Scala in Milano is an A house. Glyndebourne Festival would be considered A. So there's a bunch. There's a bunch in the rest of the world. There's just a bunch more opera houses, period, in the rest of the world. But those are the top 6 for the states that I just mentioned. So those are all places I hope to sing at. Do I think I'll be American Idol only knows marketing? Bingo. Well played. Idol is a hot mess. Also true. Yes, you guys know what's up. You guys know what's up. Andrea, hugs from Newfoundland. Very cool. Very cool. Hi, welcome. Yeah, Combs high range is killer. Would I be interested in doing more reactions to metal music? Yes. So the thing about my reactions and reaction videos, it's once a week. It's once a week, sometimes 2 if I can make it happen. Obviously not at the moment. But because of this, so far, since I started, I have probably gotten 2,000 requests. A lot of them for the same songs, right? They're 54 weeks in a year, 2,000 requests. There's just no way. So like, I get comments all the time like, why haven't you reacted to this? Why haven't you reacted to this? It's like, there's too many songs. There's too many great things to break down and analyze, and there's no way to do it. Like if this were my only job, if I didn't have opera and I was just doing music with like the bass gang and some solo stuff and these videos, I'd be doing 3 a week for sure, maybe more. If I wanted to spend most of my day doing it, I could do one every day. That doesn't sound like much fun. I probably wouldn't do that no matter the circumstances. But yeah, 1 video a week. There's just only so much we can get through. Like I've probably done 50 of them total since I started last July, with some weeks having 2, 50. There are people like Koofy. Koofy puts out videos. What a do Dave puts out videos. They're putting out like 2-3 videos a day. King family putting out videos. Elizabeth with the charismatic voice. I would love to talk to her about why she kind of left the opera world, because she was an exceptional singer. She was competing in some of the world's and the U.S.'s biggest voice competitions. She was very, very solid. So I got to talk to her about that. But she puts out multiple videos a week now that it's her main thing. But yeah, right now, 1 video a week, there's just only so much I can get to. So I really, I try to do videos that I think I'll enjoy breaking down, and videos that I think you'll enjoy. And that's kind of the balance, But yes, I do hope to do more metal music. I love metal music. So yes, TLDR, yes, I hope to do more metal videos, metal reactions. Oh, cool. Fun facts. Fun facts from the Queen of History. Canadian Opera Company. Oh, I don't know if it's. I think it's a B house. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking of people I know who've worked there, and it's people kind of like on my level, who are strong singers but young. Not ready for the Met yet. So I think it's more like a B house, solid house. It's good. I mean, B houses are. You have to be a really good singer to sing anywhere, pretty much. Most places, especially A and B houses. Really, there's not much difference with the singing. It's just the people singing at the A houses either, I mean, some of them, yes, are like star-studded, like you cannot deny they're the best in the world. Some of them is like they had really good opportunities, they had really good agents, they had really good networking. I mean, I just worked with a guy named Brian Cheney, who sang the Don Jose to my Escamillo in Carmen with Saltmarsh Opera, just a small regional company. And like, dude is an all-star tenor. Dude is just fantastic. And he's like the best colleague, like the nicest guy you could possibly meet. And, he hasn't got an opportunity singing at the big houses. And it's bonkers. It's like anyone would be crazy not to hire this guy. So, part of it, as with any career in the arts, entertainment, music, comedy, acting, whatever, part of it's talent, a big part of it's being a good colleague, but a big part of it's luck. You just you got to catch the jet streams when they go. And like, that's a fate you have to accept. You can have all the tools in the world and still not make the big time. It's a really tough reality about the arts. Yes. I'm too busy. Yeah, I'll give a breakdown of the absolute madness in a good way this semester has been. Like, I've never been busier in my life. It's been totally bonkers. And I really try not to complain about it because it's like too many good things at once. And I don't want to be that guy that complains about being busy when all the things really on their own are good. But yeah, it's been crazy. The last couple months have been crazy busy, like so crazy. But I see the light. We're almost there. Once all the bass gang stuff wraps up, like even the full summer opera festival at Santa Fe, I'm not worried at all. I'm like, that's going to be cake compared to my schedule right now. Vocal question. Is it normal that my speaking voice is quite higher than my comfortable singing voice, especially in English? English, I'm not so sure. Yes, for the first part. Some people speak much higher than they can sing. Some people, like me, I mean, I often dip down into my chest fry when I'm speaking, which is actually lower than I can sing. Some people speak. People speak all over the place. Sometimes you'll hear a really low bass that speaks higher, but then when they sing, you're like, where did that come from? So yes, it's normal. Most vocal things are normal. It's easy to think something's I mean, I've answered so many questions in the Bass Singing Nation Discord. They'll tag me and they'll say, "This is going on my voice. What's wrong? I swear I'm the only one that has this problem." And I'm like, "You're not the only one that has that problem. The voice is a very weird, fickle thing. It's affected by humidity and sleep and hydration and food and mood and muscle tightness, not even connected to the vocal folds. It's just everything affects the voice basically. So a million different things can affect it in a million different ways. Chances are nothing's wrong, for real. It's probably just you're in the spectrum of you just speak higher than you can sing, and that's just it. Good question, though. Good question. There you go. Yeah, Jennifer says, I know a man whose speaking voice would give an inclination that he was a tenor, but he's actually a bass. Exactly. And I know a lot of baritones in the opera world that their speaking voices is more like bass speaking voice, but it's just not where their voice sits comfortably when they sing. So sing baritone and usually have a bit of a lighter color. Or a baritone color. Okay. Some guy named Tommy keeps popping up. He asks me, how many reaction videos for the new Bass Gang album can we expect to see? All 4, baby. All 4. It's going to be absolute torture, but I'm going to do all 4. And I'm planning to do them to where when I first sit down to watch them, and you guys will see this, I will watch them all the way through. And you will actually get my genuine shock and glee and emotion from watching these. My favorite videos to do. My favorite. You will get 4. And the reason is because I am not editing my video. Bobby Waters, his younger sister is a film major, currently studying in London. She's an absolute prodigy. She did our Bury a Friend video last year, which is like, I mean, as far as video editing goes, for sure the top one of the 4. Just brilliant. And she is going to do both Bobby's video and my video. So I will have no early access to the video stuff. So I really will be able to do legitimate first-time reactions to all the bass gang stuff, which that's, woo, your boy's excited. Thank you, Meg. Sleep well. Thanks for joining. Very cool. Yeah. Seeing some great metal bands. Oh, that's very cool. I would love to see Nightwish. That'd be awesome. Yes, thank you so much for coming. And nice meeting you in the restaurant yesterday. Really appreciate it. And best of luck to your daughter and all her musical endeavors. Yes, who you know is very important. Very important. Being a good colleague in the opera world to me is number one. Obviously, you have to have a good voice. You can't be an opera singer without a good voice. But being a good colleague, because opera is so demanding, if you're being a dick, like the age of the diva is really over. You know, I've talked to a lot of agents and managers about this. The age of the diva is pretty much dead. Like if you're an asshole to people, you're just not going to get hired because there's someone who is, if not as good at singing, very close, that will take your place and will make the whole production better. So, yeah, good colleague, who you know, obviously be a good singer, be a good artist. Becky, that's a great idea. Insight into our own arrangements. Yeah, that'd be a super great thing that we could do for the Bass Gang Patreon. Is a behind the scenes look into each of our arrangements. I would love to break down mine. I've never been more proud of an arrangement. Truthfully, it is my favorite acapella thing I've ever made in my life. And I can't wait to show you guys. So I would love to give a behind the scenes there. Okay, basic question from Diana. What do I think a song from basically all the biggest acapella legends right now would be something I'd want to hear? Of course. Yeah, it'd be really cool to hear all them work together. Based on, legal issues and record labels are involved in, it might literally be impossible or almost impossible to get all of them on the same track. But yeah, that'd be cool. And of course, I'd love to be included. All those guys. Some of them I think are possible, for Bass Gang collaborations in the next few years. Some of them not so much. Like someone like Avi, he's actively distancing himself from the acapella world, aside from Acapella Academy that he still runs. So Avi's pretty unlikely as far as an acapella collaboration. Let's say the stars align and I end up, making a lot of my own solo music and it's a vibe that he likes. Maybe 3-5 years down the road, I could do something with him for acapella stuff. I think it's unlikely for Avi, but you never know. Tu Yang. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for coming. I often say this, so you guys see Bass Tu Yang pop up there in the chat. I do my reaction analysis videos, and I'm like 70 to 80% analysis, a little bit of reaction. Like I don't give the huge, for the most part, I don't give the big firework reactions because I react how I would naturally. I try to keep it natural for you guys. The Bass Tu Yang goes even further with the analysis. He's like a 90% analysis, 10% reaction. And he is the best identifier of chords and melodic structure and anything that I've ever seen. And he's like one of the OGs of subharmonics. He works actively as a professional choral singer. Yeah, I look up to you a lot, man. And thank you for coming tonight. And yeah, I love your reactions. I will always comment on them and be blown away by your musicianship. It's really remarkable. I think, truth be told, I think we are the two doing the most analysis by far of anyone online with these reaction analysis videos. I really do. So yeah, let's keep it up, man. Let's keep educating, education, entertainment. Let's keep it going. That's right, the king of subs. Yeah, buddy. I hope we get to sing together in person. Yeah, if there's ever a time when you want to hire, when a choir you're working with is looking for an extra bass for some chamber work, shoot me an email, man. I mean, I miss it. I miss chamber choir a lot. I would love to come sing with you. That'd be super fun. Thank you, Deborah. I'm glad you like my Dimash reactions. I do too. Dimash constantly impresses me. I hope to do more. I will do more. Yeah. And Dimash has been very good to my channel. He's certainly helped my channel grow a lot. Hey, yo. Hello, Virginia. Welcome. Yeah, represent Virginia. Let's go. Yeah, true. Full-time teaching. Yeah, man. Yeah, if you have a project, I would love to hop on it. Actually, too, while you're here, summer of 2017, I wrote 10 original choral pieces. Some of them, I think, are actually quite good. I'll reach out to you about that because that could be interesting. That could be interesting. Yes, Mortius and I recently had a very successful collaboration. Mortius's idea. There was a meme in my Discord server about how Misty Mountains is like the dwarven version of Take Me Home Country Roads. And Mortius had this idea of us basically singing the two, with opposite text and melody. And we posted it on our channels and on our TikToks as well. And the one on my TikTok has like 540,000 views over the last 2-3 days. I posted it Wednesday, I think. So yeah, last 3 days, and still raking in tens of thousands every day. Hoping it gets to 1 million. That'd be cool. That'd be my first 1 million view video. But yeah, super, super well. And big shout out to Mortius on thinking of that. It's a great idea, and it turned out way better than I could have hoped. Can you react and analyze Tim Warwick's long high notes? Yeah, send me a link through my website, and I'll check it out. Yeah, I know, but yeah, too. I've had a lot of different musical interests over the years, and this one, yeah, this whole summer I was just deep in writing original choral music. Go figure. It turned out to be like 55 pages of music and like 30 minutes of audio. I would love to talk to you about that, man. I'm sure some of them are trash or could be revised, but I think some of them actually have potential to be done really well by chamber choir. So we'll talk about that. Jennifer Parker, yes, plenty of time. I was for sure a baritone when I was in high school. I did not have low notes at all like I do now. So it's yeah, just train the voice, see where it goes. Some voices go up when they train, some voices go down. Mine went down, obviously. But yeah, 15 is way too young to tell where the voice type is going to settle. So yeah, just keep training. I always say, try to do what feels natural, what feels comfortable, and make those notes as strong as you can. Cool. All right, y'all. This has actually gone on significantly longer than I expected. I was expecting an hour and a half max. But you guys asked a lot of great questions. This is fun. I'll try to do this more often. I think, yes, this is me kind of wrapping it up. To everyone who is here at the wee hours of the night, thank you for the support. It really does mean a lot. And I know for sure some of you are here like early morning. So thank you for coming and celebrating. And yeah, 50K, y'all. So I'm going to try and do these more. And thank you, Paula. Thank you so much. Yes, my sushi is waiting. Woo! I'll try to do these more. I'll probably actually start doing some live streams just for Patreon because I just want to give them a little more, you know? So I'll probably do some Patreon live streams coming up, but I'll try to do more of these often. And of course, when we hit the big mile markers, 100K will be the next one. I think there's going to be I'm going to try and plan a lot of fun stuff for 100K. Depending on how the base gang stuff goes, it could happen much sooner than expected. Yeah, guys, that's it. Thank you so much. Thanks for asking all the questions. Hope you learned something. Hope you had fun. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.